In 1945, I was working for the YWCA of the United States, and I was heading a training team that went into Atlanta. My white colleagues could stay at the hotel, but I could not. But I was sad about that in the daytime, but I was pleased that I could be the house guests of Dr. and Mrs. Benjamin Mays. And one morning, Mrs. Mays said to me, "I wish you'd come in a little early because I'm going to have one of Benny's favorite students to come to meet you." And it turned out to be Martin Luther King Jr. And it was very interesting because he was, I think, about 15 or so. And as we talked, he was like any other teenager thinking about what he was going to do in the future. He had been brought into Morehouse College on a special gifted students program so that he never had to finish high school. He was taken from his advanced years in high school into Morehouse. And so he was very well aware of the fact that his next step was to think of whether he would go into ministry or medicine or law or just what. So it was hard to believe 10 years later that this was the same young man who I had met, and here by 10 years later when he responded to Rosa Parks, here he was my leader and all of our leaders.
Was it difficult under the circumstances to relate to him as a leader? One of the reasons that I ask is because a number of people that we've spoken to, like Vernon Jordan and Congressman Fauntleroy and whatever, talk about their relationship with you in terms of always seeing you as kind of the older sister. You know, you were sort of in charge of keeping the boys in order, you know, is the way they would talk about it. Is that pretty much an accurate description of the way you related to some of these young leaders?
No, not really, because you see, by that time, here was a young man who had been through the seminary, had been through it, done all of his studies, and he was, in fact, a young leader in Montgomery, Alabama. And there was never any thought of him in any other way. I mean, his presence in itself commanded your respect and your attention. But also, every contact that I had with him was always one that was dealing with issues and strategies, and he was so human in his whole approach to whatever it was.